What's up guys? So we are out here on another run. Going out here, running for you all, avoiding traffic, you name it, the whole 9 yards. We are out here. And onwards towards another adventure. Here we go. So let's see. What are we going to talk about today? So what persistence means to me is the idea of sticking towards, the objectives that you have for yourself, staying on that course and doing what you gotta do or what you dream of doing, right? It's not, letting yourself get distracted by people that cross the street and nearly kill you. But that's one thing that you got to keep in mind. You're gonna have people, naysayers, try to distract you, try to pull you off, your center, right? Because you got that center, you got that focus, that drives you, whatever you're doing, right? So you say that you're, in a business setting, you're gonna have all these outside distractions getting in your way. People asking you to hang out and relax and go to the beach and simply, not work, right? They're simply obstructing your flow. They may not be doing that intentionally, right? They may not directly, want to screw you over in terms of, you achieving what you got to do. But if you're not aware, of everything going around you and the potential influences people might have on you, it can be quite deadly. So from that, then, what do you do to stay persistent, right? Because that's the term that we're ultimately looking at. So in order to remain persistent, I'd say this, from the get-go, when you're given a task or objective, ask yourself, why am I doing this? What's the deeper purpose behind this? And what you might come to realize is that a lot of the things that you did before, you didn't really have, an underlying driving force behind them. You might have done them aimlessly, right? Or without a clear objective or reasoning as to why you're doing it. And I'll be the first to admit to you that, I'm guilty of this. I'm guilty, of simply wandering about through life, sleepwalking through life, as Warren Buffett describes it. Right? You have, you can easily get lost in people telling you what to do, teachers just, telling you study this, do that. And you can lose, your train of thought in a sense, the ability to think freely and, observe everything going around you. You can almost become like a mindless robot or a zombie. You're walking around, campus or work or wherever you're at, right? And you get sort of lost in the fray. You get lost in the idea of work, in the things that you got to do. And although that might, allow you to remain persistent, right, for a given second or a moment or whatever you're doing it, it's very easy. Hi, what's up? Yeah, it's very easy. Hey, it's very easy to get distracted, right? Because your mind will tend to look for outside things to pull it away from whatever you're doing, because arguably, are you happy doing that? Like, are you happily simply wandering about and, you know, without a clear reasoning, right? You don't have a why. And if you don't have that why, your brain will find it, even if it's in doing something else, which can happen, right? You might be, you know, working as a, you know, so-called banker, making a lot of money. You know, you went to school for it, you get all your degrees, you're in your job, and you really don't have a why. You don't have a reason why you're there. Besides, you know, you might have thought, hey, the money's nice, it's a cool career path, I'll meet some cool people along the way, I will, you know, maybe your family was influencing you towards going into that career, or friends, or things you saw on TV, but you probably weren't, you know, the leading force in making that decision. You weren't, you know, acting with the why. And when that doesn't happen, it's very easy, you know, for yourself to become almost dissuaded or distracted or steered off course, because what your mind thinks is that you're not really even on a course, because it has no direct objective it's chasing after, no, you know, set path that you want to follow. Even though it may be as clear as day, as straightforward, you know, as it can be. You know, go to the school, get this degree, get this certification, go, you know, work this internship for a couple months, get that job, work that job for a couple years, get a promotion, then go to the head of the company and try to run the entire show. Although that can be very straightforward within itself, it's very easy to simply just go through the motions of that, to not completely, you know, entrance yourself, you know, and find, you know, reason why. You know, you're almost like aimlessly wandering through that path, although you have it in front of you. And that's why a lot of people, you know, you might have heard the term, you know, feeling empty, you know, feeling almost hopeless in where they are, you know, because they have essentially no drive, right? And for a lot of people like me, I love to work hard, and anything that I do, I give it my all, I try my best, I fall in love with things, just basically on the premise of, you know, putting in the hours. It doesn't matter what it is. And although that's good if you want to get by, you want to make a living, right, and whatever it is, there's got to be that extra substance behind that hard work. There's got to be a why behind it, a purpose. And how, you know, can you find that just by mindlessly going about the work and showing up, which is good. When I do that, that's half the battle, but that's not the end all be all in life. And it opens you up, it opens you up to being distracted, to having your mind, you know, slip off into, you know, and for some it's illegal substances, for some it's gambling, for some it's completely different career paths that they had no idea, that they weren't influenced to be a part of. It wasn't their, you know, thing that they went to school to be. And they almost feel like they have an itch that needs to be scratched. And how, you know, can they scratch that itch in their certain job? They feel that there's no way. So they have this compulsive need to do more, to change their situation, because to them it's not enough. You know, they don't have everything that they need to be persistent. They don't have, you know, although they may think they have it all figured out, and when this guy doesn't see me, He's gotta look both ways. You gotta look both ways, buddy. And he did it. But that in of itself, then we gotta yell because we got the train out here. Let's see. And nearly escaped death with that car. And what was I saying? So, yeah, man, to stay the course, you gotta love what you're doing. As cliche as that may sound, you gotta find joy in the simple act of showing up. You know, not the final products that you get from working whatever you're working or doing whatever you're doing. Although those may be nice, you know, the money may be nice, the power may be nice. For some, it's even the fame, the attention, the notoriety brought forth by those positions. Is that really, you know, gonna allow you to stay on that path? Is it gonna keep you persistent? And in my opinion, it won't. That's not enough. Although some may live an entire life chasing that fame and that money and that success, and while they may be quote unquote persistent in that endeavor, it may not, yo, what's up, man? May not be enough to truly, you know, do everything that they wanted to do and be persistent in that. So for that, and one thing that can help you is to, you know, ask yourself why and write it down. You know, for me, I have this big dry erase board on my wall, and I can tend to write a bunch of quotes and sayings that inspire me, and a lot of times useless stuff, or people come and they draw stuff in my room or whatever. But you can use something like that, or a pen and a paper, right? Because although it's good, it's not as probably, yeah, I even say like annoying or in your face as a board, because every time I wake up, I'm pretty much forced to look at that board and everything that it says, and those quotes almost become ingrained in my mind. So what you want to do is find that why, find that reasoning why, you know. And also too, you can use the concept of peeling the onion. Ask yourself, why am I using this why? Like a why within a why. And write that down. Write it down on your board. You know, have it there for you to look at every day, you know, and take in, you know, as a guide. But whenever you feel lost in a certain situation, feel lost in that path, you look at that board or you look at that paper and you're reminded, you know, it tells you why you're here, you know. And that's what's going to keep you on that path and persistent, going to keep you going towards that goal. Because all of us, you know, we're human, we're not robots. We have off days, we have days where we feel great and everything's great, you know, sun is shining, whatever. But, you know, for those off days, for those down days, those days where you feel sick, you know, and under the weather, and things don't appear as bright as they always do, you know, you have that there always, no matter what, right? It showed up. Although your health might not show up 100% every day, that saying or that inspiration will be there for you. So with that, take that little tip and use that. Whoa.